Hi. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Red Heaven. You've made it to Red Heaven, you good little boy or girl or non-binary person. You're here. And this is High Shelf Collective, and you're watching our actual play of Heart, the City Beneath by Rowan Rook and Descartes, which is one of my favorite series and role-playing systems. I'm your GM, your games master, Doc Rimbo. I use he, she, or they pronouns, and I'm joined by a group of delvers who are in it. They have stepped in it, and we are going to join them by stepping in it as well, and to watch what happens, I guess. Let's go around. Everybody tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about the character that you're playing, and then a role-playing question for the week is, what does your character think the heart is? For those of you joining us for the first time, the heart is a nebulous, almighty source of otherness that is at the center of this world, but nobody knows what it is. And furthermore, nobody can agree on what it is. So some scholars say one thing, some say another. So anything you say now in this intro is valid. So your character could think, "Oh, I think it's the North Pole and Santa Claus lives there," and you would be valid in that guess. Um, let's see, who looks like they know what the heart is the most? I think we should start with RJ, because I think Shoebill knows what the heart is.
Are you sure about that? Hello,
Uh-huh.
everybody. I'm RJ. Today I'm playing Shubil the Junk Mage, the adventurous Junk Mage. We both go by he, they. Shubil thinks that the heart's a riddle wrapped in a mystery, wrapped inside of an enigma. Listen, man, I was one time in a forest and all of a sudden all of the trees were flesh. I hate it. Don't like it. Not one bit.
Shoebill, by saying "listen, man," he came across as being a little bit stoned during that conversation. Like some campfire talk, he's like, "Hey, man, listen."
I imagine he and Wines had gotten
Oh
into
yeah,
it.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, for
like
sure.
Have you been to the flesh mangroves?
I put my face on it.
Speaking of putting their face on it, let's jump over to the other half of that duo. I'm going to leap. I'm going to leap caddy corner down to Derek. Hey, Derek.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Derek from Atop Derek Mountain, and I play the Vermissian Night, known as Winds to the Wind, an elf here, who's quested to find the perfect gamble, which is jumping into the heart. And what do I think about it? What does he think about it? He thinks it's pretty much the place that is going to be the epitome, the overall perfection of what is a life that has no annoyance, nothing that could absolutely bother him. He thinks that overall
So
the heart
he like
itself.
thinks like it's like some sort of heavenly serenity.
Exactly. He himself is overall
Interesting.
thinks getting down deeper into it is actually a way to get away from everything else that is above.
So you have to push through the weirdness, and then in the center, the gooey center, it's just peace and quiet and
Yes.
pleasantness. I gotta tell you, that sounds real good.
I agree.
Somebody else who sounds real good is our friend Benji. Hi, Benji. Tell us about
Hi.
Toby and his theories about the heart.
Yeah, I play Toby. He is a drow Heartsong Deadwalker, one half of the resident Sad Boys. And Toby was raised to believe that the heart is the one true land of the dead. Toby has no clue if that's true and wants to find out for himself, and he kind of hopes his parents are wrong.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. I like that. Let's do another diagonal jump up to our friend Sid. And Sid, tell us about Jezzy, she of the fuzzy hoofedness, and what does Jezzy think heart
That
is?
sounds like a new cult, actually. We worship Jesse
Yeah.
of fuzzy hoofedness. I love that. Um, no, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me online at Greek Sid. I'm playing Jesse. She is our no heart song deep apiarist, aka the bees. Um, And I was thinking about this one. You made me tink, tink, tink today, Doc.
I know all the buttons to push to me.
I know.
Make one tank.
I want to make one tink, tink, tink. I think Jesse really feels like the heart is like kind of like limbo. It's like it's purgatory. It's a place that you have to do a lot of fighting and blood sweating and tearing. But if you get to the other side, there's some good stuff over there.
Okay. So there is, in the center of this space, there
Mhm.
is redemption or peace or whatever. So not too far out from Wines, but you gotta like bust through the shell, the candy
You got to
coated
slog through the
shell.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, gotcha. You've got to penetrate. Speaking of penetration, Ali, welcome. Good to see you.
Hey,
Um, whoa! Tell us about the other half of the Sad Boys and what his theories of the heart are.
yeah. So, my name is Ollie. I play Elric, the human heartsong witch. His belief is that the heart is the prison cell to the Mother Witch, an Empyrean being that has been imprisoned for one reason or the next. She is the origin of all witches. She calls to them. Her blood runs through them so that they can release her. The reason for everyone having these temptations to be drawn in there is so that they can ultimately let her free. Whether that's good or bad, scholars disagree.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. And of course, all of you are completely wrong and also completely right. So, without any further ado, let's get back in it. Last week, the party ventured down Coin Pit, a unknowable gravity well in the middle of a sort of rundown tourist trap. Two of them, both Anais and Jezzy, had visions of the same strange figure who just questioned them a little bit, seemed curious about their motivations, but also maybe had some criticisms for Anais in how she was living out her faith in the Hungry Deep, and also some encouragement for Jezzy about how they want what she wants and they could work together and things like that. Once they reached the bottom of Coin Pit, they found all the stuff that had previously fallen down Coin Pit, including the shop of one Harush Spellfuel, this crazy arcanist who had a few goodies left over. Bill found a toy in there, and also a follower as a strange little trash golem started following him from a distance in a weird, creepy way. And they quickly, thanks to the expertise of Wines, the Vermissian Night, they found the way toward a place called the Black Casern. A casern is like a military barrack, but this place was somewhat military barrack, almost internment camp, and also like maybe favela, like a hovel village, and where all of these human sorcerers had lived when they were working on the Vermissian. And while there, they experienced some visions and they found some information. One of them saw a big mural which had a depiction in Aelfir style of humans and Aelfirs working together to pierce the heart and start the Vermissian. And it branched up out of this heart like a tree or something like that. Other people found flyers calling for investment into the Vermissian project, but Shubel was quick to point out that it was sketchy as hell, that it was basically just them saying, yeah, you should fund this with no guarantee of them ever getting any return on their investment or anything. It was all propaganda. And then somebody else found a log from a group that was trying to map the heart. And in that log, they found something mentioned called the delving machine, but no explanation of what that is. There's a lot of other stuff in there, but that's the important part. At one end of this settlement, there is this huge warehouse, big enough to fly a jumbo jet through, or more specifically, big enough to build a train in or two trains in. And that's where the tracks led. But when Jesse investigated by sending her bees up and through a crack in the window into the warehouse, something saw them. This enormous figure with this sort of balloon-like free-flowing body wrapped in a fabric of some kind, one hand that looks like a big jackhammer, and one that looks like a coupling hook that goes in between a train car, and a head that was simply a lamp that goes on the front of a train. It blinked to life and turned its gaze onto these bees and then rose up in this sort of terrifying amorphous walking style and started to drag and walk toward the big double metal doors of the warehouse out to where the rest of the group was. So, with that in mind, I think that it's awake. So, I think that we all need to do something. All of you watch. Jesse, I think, was the one who yelled out, "Y'all, we've got a problem. Something's coming." And Jesse, you had a minor fallout. What's your fallout that you took?
It's called foreboding. Something bad is about to happen. The GM will hint at an ominous future event. And smoke in the distance, a tremor before a pulse, the frantic music of a carnival. Or some example.
I believe technically that is the frantic music of the carnival,
Oh,
which is a fun little thing, but that's for another campaign.
okay.
The carnival is a mimetic disease that invades your brain and
Oh,
causes you to dance and sing permanently. So
I may have that.
yeah, you might have that already. Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have that. But the sound that you hear is up against the metal doors of this warehouse. You hear this clanging. Let me see if I've got a good sound for it. I don't think I do. It just goes clang, clang. And then you see this coupling hook reach like through the smallest opening and wrench the door open. And there is the Vermissian Night Watchman. And when the Vermissian Night Watchman looks around, it's almost like a puppeteer in that there's no hand holding that lantern, but you can see it lead the body, right? As it sort of floats and scans the area. Jesse, I think you're the first person to act here.
Okay.
What is Jesse?
I
Oh,
think.
and for those who will be watching at home, this has a resistance of 15. He has an armor class or a protection of 2. And so in order to pass this, by some way or another, you need to lower that from 15 to 0.
Sweet. I think first things first. I think Wines was with Jesse.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm
We're appreciating the mural.
Yes, we were appreciating the mural for I think two very different reasons. But I, if I may, would like to
Yeah.
cast a spell called Unchaos.
Okay, tell us what Unchaos is.
The heart is a chaotic place, and you seek to undo that with ancient magics. I roll Mend and Occult. On a success for the remainder of the situation, myself or one nearby ally may treat any risky actions as standard actions.
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, so this is a Mend Occult roll, so you need to succeed on this in order for you, and I'm assuming Wines, to not be as freaked out, and so take anything that's risky and move it up to standard.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Occult.
So go ahead and roll me Mend Occult, and then that should be 3d10. I think only you can do this. You're the one casting the spell.
Yes.
That's a 9.
Yay!
That's with no stress. So what does it look like? What does this ritual or spell look like as Jesse sets it off?
Well, the bees were already flying back towards her at a breakneck, very fast, even faster than breakneck speeds. And so as they fly forward to join the rest of the hive, they actually start sort of zinging around her in what appear to be very strange, odd directions. and almost making like a ping sound as if they're flying into glass. But every time that ping sound happens, it's like a little stroke, like a flash of light happens, and all these flashes of light come together and sort of crystallize into, in fact, surprisingly, into that little symbol that she found in the spider web of the square and the triangle and the circle. And it then bursts outward, covers herself, and whines.
Lovely. All right. So, anyone watching at first sees another instance of chaos, but not for the hive, not for these bees. They move with precision and purpose and order and cause this glyph-like vision of that circle, triangle, square thing of the PlayStation controller that Jesse is afraid
Yes.
of, and
Yes,
like
very terrifying.
it covers both of them. Does anyone else go next? Who acts after that? Now, keep in mind you are in like a village, and you are in 3 different groups. You're spread out, and you do have cover, so this thing has not spotted you yet. It is out here, and it's hunting for you.
Fantastic.
Can we all see it though?
Oh yeah, and if you can't see it, you can hear it. You can hear this clanging and dragging sound as it walks, and you can see the beam of its headlamp scanning the cavern that you're in. It's moved from the warehouse into a smaller space. Like the warehouse is so big, it makes the rest of this place seem cramped.
You're muted, my friend. I got you.
Shubil would like to cast a spell.
Okay, what spell is Shubil gonna?
I would like to cast Frenzy of the Sky Court, which will give me 1 protection across the board, and also let me tag a new skill.
Okay. What skill are you gonna pick up here as you are inspired by the Sky Court?
Using my ability Temporary Perfection, I think I'm going to pick up Kill.
Lovely. So
Oh, I need to roll first, though.
yes, you do need to roll. What's the roll that you're making?
Evade Occult. Fun fact, my mind is at 5, which activates my Ravening Knowledge, so I roll with Mastery.
Yes. Okay.
Here we go. 10.
Nice. Perfect. So it is an excellent casting. Do you want to give me some flavor? What does it look like as he casts this?
He's
huddled in around a corner.
I think he's next to Elric, turns and goes, Elric, have I ever told you the 3 F's of survival?
Elric says, he tries to speak back, but he's muted. And so it sounds like he's just...
Sorry. Yeah. Elric looks to him for a second, looks back to the giant monstrosity. I'm sure we have time. Sure, go ahead.
Fight, fuck, a flee. I can't do 2 of those, so 2 guns come out. He's pulling on what looks like headphones and just flipping a switch, and you just hear essentially our version of rock music playing as he's going to dash out around the corner and start firing on the creature.
You absolutely could do all 3 of those. You just haven't tried hard enough yet.
There you go.
As you
I was
do,
going to say the same thing.
To Shubil alone for this time, this ethereal vision of one of the lords of the Fey Court comes floating, and it's like, hello, Shubil. Do you have some guns? You should use them to shoot that guy.
Hello, Herla. This is what I'm doing.
Fantastic.
Fantastic, baby.
Yes. It's Austin Powers all of a sudden. Go out and shooting. So you go out and start shooting at this dude. You already succeeded on this casting roll, but I'd like another roll here.
Oh, I was
for that
saying shooting
kill.
for flavor so that someone else could take a turn.
Oh, sure. Okay. If you want to save that for next turn, that's fine. Who do you toss it to?
I'll popcorn it to Elric. He's right next to me.
All right,
Okay.
Elric, you are inspired by Shubil's chaotic and careless bravado.
Yeah, no, he sees the gunfire, uses that sort of as cover, and just starts beelining it to the monstrosity. He's running headfirst straight at it.
Excellent.
If he can get to it...
Elon, that's my thing.
I'm so sorry. Yes, he has some other insectoid lining towards it. No copyrighted insectoids, of course.
Right.
Sorry, that's on me.
Public domain insecting line toward it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, and he's got the bone knife out, and he just tries to jump onto it, grabbing whatever he can, and stabs.
So here comes the witch boy. Just you turn, and it's like I like to imagine there's like a center street, but it's not a street. It's just like a little path that goes between all these houses, and that's where it is, having just exited the doors. And so I think just far into the street, here comes this sad boy witch with a knife in his hand. So what are you rolling here?
One question. It is bloodbound, so if I do a thing, I can like take damage and roll with mastery, right?
Yes.
Can I do this thing?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Read Bloodbound for us all, and not for me. I know what it is. But
let me find it. 2 seconds.
I mean, I can find it.
I found it. Mark D4 stress to blood to roll with mastery when using this equipment for the rest of the situation.
Excellent. So roll a D4 first and take that stress. You don't roll for fallout here. It's just freestanding stress. And then once you have that, go ahead and make your attempt with mastery.
All right. So I take 3, but I have 2 protection and blood, so I take 1.
Fantastic. So you take 1 point of damage to blood. I think maybe like as you run, maybe like you draw blood from yourself a little bit to power it. And then what kind of roll are you making to stab?
Is this thing cursed or occult? Because kill is definitely part of it.
This boy right here is 100% cursed.
Cool. So kill cursed.
His domains are cursed technology.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Okay, make that roll. Ooh,
there
that's
we
an
go.
8. Yeah, excellent. No, you leap up and you bring this thing down. What's the damage dice for your?
It's a D6.
Okay, roll a D6 for me. Ooh, a 3, which means that he takes 1 point of damage to his resistance, as he has a protection of 2. So like you are cutting with your knife, you're cutting into this enormous balloon-like body, and you don't even know if it finds purchase on anything.
I'm stabbing the spooky Michelin man. Yeah,
you're stabbing the spooky Michelin man, and he's not happy about it. Like he's like flailing and stuff like that. But those of you who see Elric do this, does Toby act or does Wines act next?
Toby, take it away.
Save me, Toby.
Toby steels himself for a moment because this is probably the first big combat he's ever encountered in his life. And he's kind of like, what do I? And then he looks at all of his little orphans, and he's like, come here. See that big guy? He's your new friend. You want to go play with him. Because I realize I have Grim Reaper.
Yep.
Your death has long whispered to you about the proper methods of execution on occasion. It helps directly. Gain the kill skill. Your death's attentions now function as the following weapon. Kill D8 ranged one shot. So I want to send all these orphans to try to overwhelm him.
Perfect. All right. So you say this to the orphan squad, and you see like at first they're sort of like a little scared. They are clearly a little bit intimidated. But when you say that to them, you watch as their expression turns to this like almost impish evil grin on all of their faces, and you can swear you see like their darkened eyes start to glow a little bit, and then you hear this shout as they all rush against him. So let's do a roll for this to see how they do.
Kill cursed
would be great.
A
10, baby.
Oh.
All right, roll that damage die, as this guy is swarmed by ghost children.
Does it make it a D10 because it's a crit?
As a crit, yeah, you should roll a damage die twice.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so no, you increase the dice size. That's right. So if you were rolling a D8, you should roll a D10.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
10.
So re-roll it. That 3 is ridiculous. Get it out of here. Roll a D10. 6.
Nice.
Awesome. In that case, it takes, instead of that, it takes 4 to its resistance, and the resistance goes down to 10 as these children swarm all over it, and it isn't scared because you don't like it doesn't have that emotion anymore, right? Or if it ever did, but it is like alarmed and trying to like stay upright as it like tries to move with this cloud of little kids ghosts that are climbing all over it.
Does
So that's a
everybody
1.
else see this?
You tell me. Are they in this moment corporeal enough for the rest of your group to see them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
So
And
all of
Toby
you watch this group
just
of
yells
kids.
Toby just yells out, "Don't worry, they're mine."
And that's how all of you learn that Toby's a dad.
Mazel tov.
Bees and orphans, my favorite.
Now that is a one-shot tag, so you can only use it once per situation. So after they do this for a little while, they don't absorb into it, but they sort of like dissipate a little bit. Wines, you're the only one who hasn't acted yet.
Yes.
What does Wines do?
Jesse, your
work.
spell,
Yes.
right? You're standing still for that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to utilize the Get Behind Me ability, which you can't explore the world alone, so you've learned to keep your team alive. Any ally within arm's reach of you gains +1 blood protection thanks to your inventions. Once per situation, you can either bellow an order and remove D4 blood or mind stress to a nearby ally. So what I'm going to do is, with Wines, he's going to notice, he sees the herd of orphans. He sees Jesse getting all some jutsu stuff, and he takes his shield off of his back and just slams it right in front of Jesse.
Yeah.
And
like
then
big Dark Souls energy, just like boom.
yeah, just and I can imagine that like when that happens, all the steam out of out of Wines' armor just kind of billows out, and he looks back and says, "How sharp are those bees?"
Pretty sharp.
Let's do something with it.
Excellent. So if you want, we can do this. And what stress would Jesse prefer to have reduced here? Sid? Right? Because you get to do that as a part of this, right, Derek?
D4 blood or D4 to blood or mind?
Well, I wouldn't be able to do it to mind. So I'll do the blood.
Okay. So roll a D4 and you can lose that amount of blood stress.
Sweet.
And then, Derek, this doesn't affect the resistance unless you want to make a roll, unless you like take that risk of taking on stress.
I feel pretty safe.
I only have 2, so it's fine.
Okay, so you're just gonna keep it right there, and leave the resistance at 10. Now we're back to a new round here. This thing has started to like move forward into the center of the area. So you're all sort of flanking in a triangulated way. You're all around it at different lengths, but either Jesse can go first, or if somebody else is feeling it, like Bill's got guns out. So if we want Bill to go first, we can do that. It's up to you guys. Who acts?
I have a stupid idea.
No idea is stupid.
I love this.
Okay.
Sid, if it works, it's not stupid.
True. Jesse's just gonna sort of like knock on Wines' shield and say, "I'm gonna disappear for a second. Be right back." And she's gonna try to find some cover, and then I think she wants to do a bit of a little distraction with this guy.
Great, love it.
Can she find just like a piece of metal on the ground?
There's like a corrugated, like it was being used as a roof or something like that to one of these hovels, and it's just leaning against a building.
Beautiful. She's gonna just like snag that underneath her arm for a second, and then sort of run around one of these buildings, and then just start making the biggest holy hell racket possible with it.
Okay.
To kind of,
Try
at the
and
very least,
cause-
get this thing to turn its head or get distracted in some way.
Okay, awesome. What kind of roll do you want to make here? This sounds like a compel roll, but what do you got?
Yeah. I was thinking compel technology.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're trying to wave this thing down as its beam is still searching like for everyone. It hasn't located you guys yet, except for Elric.
Yeah.
Except for Elric. Right.
Alrighty. Compel technology.
That is a 7. That is the 777.
That's 3 7s.
Yeah, that is success at a cost.
Okay.
I think what's going to happen here is that you've got its attention,
For better or worse.
and it's going to charge at you and come down on you with one of its fists. It's going to try to bring this jackhammer like down into the shield itself.
Love
And
it.
so you take 4 points of blood damage, stress to your blood stress.
I have
as
a
it,
blood
like,
protection of 2 now, which
Sweet, so you take 2.
I imagine is literally just, it still happens, but the bees very slowly but surely like do some honeycomb around the wound. So
Right.
Okay.
It's also the shield technique that you learned from watching Wines.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
But this piece of metal is ruined. It just like punches right through it and like pushes you back against the wall. Who's next?
Can I?
Oh, do I need to roll Fallout for
Oh,
that?
roll
too?
for Fallout. Roll for Fallout. Yes.
Okay.
Oof.
No Fallout.
Hey.
Yep. That light has not shown on you yet. Yes, Benji.
Doc, can
Yeah.
I try something that might be shenanigans?
Always.
Is there a candle in any of these hovels? Is there like a candle or something?
There is. Yeah, one of them has a candle that's mostly burned down, but you think you could light it. The wick still seems to be functional.
So I have shadow.
Mhm.
Your body, unmoored from the lands of the living, can become shadowy and indistinct. Gain the sneak skill. By blowing out a lit candle and focusing, you can extinguish all light sources nearby.
Fantastic.
Can I
love
turn off
this.
this thing's headlight?
I think that it's definitely a high possibility, and it's definitely a
Okay.
good call. But we need a roll here. So
It
something
doesn't
with
tell
first
me
command.
what I would roll, so
I would say, I mean, that's up to you then. Would it be compel cursed? Would it be evade or endure cursed?
I'm kind of being sneaky about this.
Stealth cursed works.
Okay.
Or sneak. Yeah.
So I want to,
Is
yeah,
stealth-
I want to find a candle, light it, and
Yeah.
then get close enough to it so that when I blow it out.
Well, let's roll and we'll see how well it happens or how it goes.
8.
It's an 8. Success with no stress. Super. Yeah, you absolutely do that. And just as this thing punches into Jezzy's makeshift shield, it goes to look at her and the headlamp sputters out. And it seems to like waver on its feet. Roll me a d4 to reduce its resistance. 4. Nice. Its resistance is now down to an 8. All right, that is a great move. We're going to say that for the time being, ongoing, probably till the end of this thing, its headlamp fallout is no longer active as it's been extinguished.
Oh, shit.
Can I cast
yeah.
spell to relight?
Yes, you can absolutely do that. Yeah, if you want to make a big mistake, just, well, you hold on, buddy. Let's just nope, don't move. Hold on, I got you, and then relight it.
Yeah, I'm gonna relight it with my pistol shot.
Sure, that works too.
You mean light it up?
Light it
Sorry.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Light
knew
it
you
up,
get
up,
those
up.
confused. It's okay.
So,
Mhm.
Doc, it states that I have 2 old-fashioned pistols. So is it like one shot, or for each pistol, or
It's
is it
all
just
wrapped
one
up
bottle?
in what? Well, what does it say in the item? Does it if it has like
It just
D8, it's
says
just 1d8.
It's just 1d8. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
I
I'll
mean,
go
unless you roll a crit, then it's both.
You know what? Here's hoping. I'm gonna roll a kill cursed on it.
Absolutely. You see it
Or-
standing over Jezzy, and then you see its headlamp sputter out. Shoot it with your guns.
Kill.
Kill.
Steve Harvey pointing at the board. Kill!
Show me
9.
kill.
Nice.
9. Excellent. The success with no problemos. So roll me that D8 footage.
5.
5. Its resistance goes down yet again. Now its resistance is at a 5.
Yay.
As like this time, you saw like Elric try and stab it. When you shoot it with the guns, you like can see it like losing mass. Right? It's like whatever inner workings it has, whatever cursed arcane magic is powering this thing, they're starting to crumble. And it's losing that volume, right? Who's next?
Could I jump in there?
Yes, do it.
Fantastic. I'm going to or Way's Way. Too busy stuck in cowboy land. Wind is going to he's gonna pick up his shield, like in kind of like one momentous push. He is going to look at Jezzy, take off with that piece of metal, and be like, I put this down. But now I'll put it down. And he just pushes his shield and just goes running at the monster, just full charge at it.
Cannonball.
And he cannonball indeed. He is going to utilize overclock, which is push the Vermissian plate up to its beyond its limits. So at that point, as he's running, it's like you see him picking up the speed, the rest of the steam kind of blowing off of his body.
It sounds like a train.
It sounds like a train, pretty much.
He's running down the track, like he's running down an actual train track. Yeah.
So that same sound is a lot more high pitch and whatnot that monster was making. So he is just charging this thing as fast as he can. And what it does is it adds a brutal tag to the attack, to the weapon, and I have to make an immediate melee attack. So this charge.
So brutal means that when you roll this time, if you succeed, when you roll damage, you roll twice. You roll with advantage. You roll twice and pick the higher one.
Sweet. All right. So that is a
Real quick.
Got to roll to do it first, though.
Could I assist
kind of
Wines
skills?
on this after having acted?
Well, it's not so much about action economy as it is how is this assistance happening.
I imagine Shubil has empowered his bullets so that they'll fly forward and give Wines a tailwind to increase his speed as they whiz past him.
Although I love that, you guys are already making a dent in this boy, so I don't think I need to help you any further.
That's right.
And so,
I
not
forgot
this
I
time.
have a train whistle.
Oh, great.
Wines
Sid, would you
makes
like
a
to
train
do
whistle?
the?
Yes. I'm coming through.
That made me so happy.
That's so
Derek,
good.
what skill are you going to use here? What are you rolling?
I think it's for the steel door. It's kill and block other tags. So kill technology.
Kill technology is great.
Fantastic.
Kill this technology.
I'm gonna kill the hell out of this technology. My boy, roll the dice.
That's it sometimes. A 3.
But he has advantage, right?
No,
On
just on the
damage.
damage. And so this does not work. Fortunately, it doesn't spin around on you. It just it gives you stress. So I think Wine's like collides with it, and we're going to have you take some fortune stress.
Yes, I do mark D4 stress to fortune as you push your luck and strain your engines. So do I get technically double?
Okay,
stress?
so first of all, we'll roll that separately. So here's the stress to fortune. 4 stress to your fortune.
Sick.
And then actually on top of that, we're going to give you some supplies stress. That is stuff like your shield, your armor, your possessions. And since this guy is a big guy, we're going to roll a D8 for that.
Aye.
4. So 4 stress to your supplies, and then I need, once those are on there, a fallout check from you.
Done. Fallout test.
A minor fallout. I am going to give you minor fortune fallout, Derek,
Fantastic.
because I do believe that's one of your beats this week.
Why, yes, it is.
You're welcome, Derek.
Thanks, Dad.
I got you. Some bad luck. Minor fortune fallout. Let me pick one. Let me pick something juicy here, because you guys extinguished him. Oh, perfect. An important item is damaged. You cannot use it until you take the time and resources to repair it. Ongoing, your shield is broken.
Oh God. So does this thing, like, I can imagine as I hit it, I just bounce off of it. So like, not only do you hear that big train sound and you hear all this, gusto coming from them, but I hit this
Yeah.
thing and just go flying into like a building.
Uh-huh. You do remove stress from fortune.
Okay.
And after that, like, no shield. Who hasn't gone yet this time? I think Elric still needs to go. Is that all? Okay. Maybe Toby too.
Yeah.
Sad boys, maybe? Okay. Elric or Toby. Which sad boy acts first?
I extinguished the light, so I went.
Oh, that's right. You did. Okay, so just the other one. Elric. This guy he's taken damage, but then you saw Wines try to tackle it and his shield like bent.
Okay.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I still feel confident that the brittle bone blade I have will do just fine. That shield may have bent, but this has got it. And I just keep stabbing away.
Are you still on him?
Yeah, he's just grabbed onto him.
around and you're...
Yes, exactly. He's gripping to the side and just stabbing for dear life.
Okay, I love that. I love that. We've rolled. Kill cursed 8. Yes, perfect. And then roll me your attack die. 4. My goodness, you guys are hot tonight. It takes 2 more. It's down to 3 resistance, and it is stumbling. It is starting to sway around a little bit as we go back to a new round. Who sees the weakness and moves in for a kill?
I got some that I want to try.
Do it, boy.
I'd like to cast a special kind of spell. One to
Ooh.
try and...
It's like you're introducing a song at a lounge.
Actually,
I'd like to dedicate this next spell.
It's essentially just a huge wind blast downward to force it into the ground.
Oh, I love that. Okay, awesome. Is this a specific ability, or are you just being crazy?
I'm being crazy, so I shall be rolling.
So this is... what are you rolling?
I'm gonna roll Kill a Cult for this spell.
Perfect.
So I can do that, and 7.
Ooh, success at a cost. I'm going to also, because I did it with Derek, I'm going to give you a D8 of stress to mind. So you take 3 points of mind stress, and it is successful. So roll me a D4 to reduce its resistance.
This probably won't do it. 2, so 0.
2. It negates it. Yeah. It stands fast, and just wants to hit somebody again. So roll me for Fallout, and we'll see if it does.
Meep. Yes.
It do. It hit you real good with a major Fallout, and I think that since I had you roll mind, it should be a major mind Fallout.
Oh yay! I'll look at that.
As you try to.
This is our first major Fallout.
Yeah.
Have you had minor mind Fallout before? Remind me.
I had deja vu, if I recall. Or is that echo? Sorry.
Okay. Let me think. Don't mind me, everyone. Just trying to figure out how to make things bad for RJ.
I did
Ask
not
him. He's actually usually
Fallout.
pretty good at doing it himself. So,
yeah,
I'm a masochist.
RJ, would you like to pick a Fallout from the major mind?
Please continue on with the round. I shall peruse.
Who's next? Hanging still up.
No.
Okay. My swarm has spread.
It would hit Elric.
It would hit Ulrich.
Yep, because he's on
Do
this
it.
thing like a backpack.
Elric is absolutely nodding to you to just do it.
Are you
Elric,
sure?
just so you know, just to take you
Only,
a moment,
only with permission would I do this. Are
it
you sure?
smells like motor oil. Like it's just like it's like diesel exhaust in your face as you're doing this.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. You're pretty confident he's saying yes. It could just be him like trying not to die from the fumes, but you're pretty confident he's saying yeah, do it.
I'm gonna take
The
that as a
feeling's there.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think behind the shield with a big old hook having just come out of her side, she's just like, well, girls, I think it's time. And just the swarm just erupts
Be
out of her
blast.
mouth. Be blessed. So yeah.
Rename me a bee blast whenever you use it, because like it makes
Bee
it sound
blast!
like an anime attack.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
So yeah, if I could, I don't
Does it say
have.
what you should roll there?
It does not.
Okay.
The
you
weapon
get to choose.
has kill to it, so
So kill is probably the smart one there. Kill
Yeah.
and then technology or cursed.
we'll do technology. I don't have kill, so we're still gonna give this a shot though.
Just a little guy.
She's just a little guy.
Just a big weird little lady
She's
guy.
just a big weird, big little gal. Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Ooh, that's a critical success. What's the dice on those?
It's a D4.
So roll D4 twice and add them together.
2d4.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, what am I saying? That's not correct. So
Oh.
it's a D6. Roll a
Was it
D6.
2d6? Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Tree.
It eats up 2 of those and does 1 point of damage to it. It's down to 2 points of resistance left. This big thing, and but fortunately you weren't taking fallout. You know who did take fallout is Bill. RJ, have you decided what Bill's going to do now, or is this going to play out later? Does this anything happen right away?
It should play out later because I would need to step away.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Or at least take my headphones off and then wait for everyone to give a thumbs up.
Gotcha. Okay, fantastic. I love this. So somebody else who has not gone yet this round.
Question: does Elric take damage from that attack? Because he was on top of it, stabbing it during that. Yeah.
Elric takes 3 points of, we'll say, blood. As
Okay.
The bees,
He's got 2 protection
to be
from
honest,
it.
you get the feeling these bees don't care who they hit.
Yeah. No, he respects it. Awesome.
In fact, maybe you hear some of them yell out, "Also the witch."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
While he's stabbing, fumes are going to get his face. Not the witch! Not the witch! And he just keeps
Yes, the
stabbing.
witch.
I love
Yes,
it.
the witch. Not the witch.
Oh, bees. All right, so you take 3, but you don't do any fallout. Fantastic. So who hasn't gone yet? I think that Sad Boys and Wines still have to go. All right.
Anyone want to jump on that?
I think Elric should go because he just got hit with a bunch of bees. So
Yeah.
channel your
Yeah.
rage, Elric.
Yeah, no. He's like almost swatting at the bees and then remembering he needs to grasp on for dear life and then stabs away.
Okay, so you're still hanging on the back of this giant monstrosity made of train parts. You take success with no stress. All right, roll me your damage.
All right.
And that does it, baby. Elric, describe this for me, how this thing collapses and like what it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of like at a rodeo taking the bull down. He's bringing it towards the ground, stabbing the whole time. Eventually he gets some purchase and he just starts ripping parts out of it as he brings it down to the ground.
Oh my God. So you stab it and you open up this big hole in it. And when you do, you start to pull out train guts, like all of these old train parts that to an untrained eye would seem like he was just stuffed full of things like Oogie Boogie, just like whoa, whoa, you know what I mean, and just like pulling like rotors and iron rods, you know, like just like all sorts of things, and then tossing them aside, and finally it can't stand anymore and collapses to the ground with a mighty thud and throws up this cloud of red dust into the air.
You shouldn't have
It's
thrown
about-
all that. We can
it's
use
small.
it.
I would say Wind is actually doing his best, actually, in his broken shield, kind of like a big cup.
Mhm.
He's just trying to catch all the pieces and whatnot. That's being
Wines, if you want to take train guts from this, these are a D8 technology resource.
sick. Train guts.
He
I
turns to Sid, just covered head to toe in like motor oil. Sorry, I didn't think to hold on to them. And he's just covered in oil. Smells atrocious, and it was a whole experience. And you can see it in his eyes.
I love
I'll wash your hair tonight. That's on me. I'm sorry.
No,
that was
Okay, that happens.
that was my fault.
No, that happens.
There is a rumbling from the pile of this creature, and the head just shoots upwards, and Shubil pops up after it like a gopher. Look what I found! I got the head!
The head is it's described as a headlamp trophy because it really doesn't have much other purpose, but it is a D8 curse item.
Ooh.
And you
I
may
can
think,
eat this.
cursed? Is it a curse? No, it's just that's the description. That's the domain of it, is a curse. It doesn't have a curse on it, but you can see that like this thing maybe used to be so these are constructs like this are born from train engines that during the Vermissian incident get blasted with chaos energy and animate. And it was here, like all of you pick up the vibe, it was here as a protector of whatever's past those doors and beyond. So it was on patrol and trying to stop intruders, but it got stopped by you guys. Looking around, see that the doors are still, at least one of them is slid aside, and you can see now the rest of you, besides the bees, you can see inside of that giant warehouse there. You see inside the track continues. It branches off to the side in one place, like there's one little offshoot off to another area, but then continues on past that to a back door, which is also closed. So something was built here and left that way.
Can we gather up as much train guts as possible? I feel like we might need some to fix Wines' shield too.
We can get on that. I'd like to use my Fallout.
Yes, please tell us, RJ, what Fallout you have chosen.
The Major Mind Fallout Memory Holes.
Oh, no. Yes. Okay, great. Tell everyone what it is.
You did things that you can't quite recall. While you step outside or during downtime, all the other players work with the GM to determine what you did that you blocked from your mind. These are generally pretty awful things. They can have happened up to a year ago in game or immediately upon suffering fallout. Your character has zero memory of the events, but everyone else involved knows what happened.
So I think we'll once we hit our break in about half an hour, 45 minutes or so, we'll decide over break what it was that Shubil did in the presence of the others, so we can throw shade in his direction.
It was either that or make someone boil from the inside out.
I think you chose the right one.
Yeah.
No. Boiling's fun too. I mean, there's no wrong choices. So here you are at the precipice of this warehouse, and I mean, you venture inside. Do you turn around and go home, and just the show's canceled?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 86.
Begin our
Going
Tuesday
back up to the spire. Peace, deuces. This place sucks. Bye. So to Jizzy's thought is that as everyone's kind of looking forward towards the train guts that have been kind of gathered onto the shield, Wines is just kind of looking down at it, like kind of confused, but at the exact same time, just wondering, like, how the hell am I going to fix this? What does this go here and lever here? Metal on metal.
Just give it here.
He would turn very fast at Jesse and be like, what does a hairy wolf boy know anything about this? This is Elfir technology. You know nothing. Be wolf.
Elric, who is
One.
not afraid of that, steps back from this.
Hugo
The
as
giant
well.
lantern monstrosity steps back.
See,
Excellent.
you see him getting back to tinkering. He looks frustrated. Like, he looks frustrated on not only the level of, like, he's trying to figure it out, but at the exact same time, like, frustrated that you would even say anything like that.
I think very quickly, if I may, just for flavor, she begins from her perfect machine to create a sticky substance, like, again, sort of the reverse flossing out of her teeth. Just enough to, I don't know, maybe cover the mouth hole over his mask if necessary. Turns to him with her very large clawed arms crossed. I'm gonna go ahead and correct a couple things for you that you just said. One, not a boy. Two, not a wolf. And three, the amount of shit that I know about moving parts could fill even more than that big empty head of yours. So do you want to hand it over so I can help you?
Wines thinks about it, kind of takes his hand off of the shield and touches the stickiness upon his mask. My mouth is underneath the mask. I can still speak to you.
It was kind of just for effect.
Oh, okay. You know things. Try.
Okay.
Would you like to try and improve it a little bit?
I would. Can we
Okay.
use some of the train guts?
Yeah,
And
So basically, Derek, what's your supplies stress at right now?
My supply stress is at a 4.
Okay. So this is a D8. These guts are worth D8. If you use them, like once you use them up, they're gone.
okay.
So you can roll a D8, and he will take that much off the supplies.
Beautiful. If we
But you have to roll for it first.
if we didn't want to use the supplies,
You'd have to wait till you
could
get to
I?
a Haven.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't use my perfect machine and then roll like a mend technology, perhaps.
You could, yeah. Your perfect machine, does that have a die size attached to it?
It does not. It just says given some time. So I think it's just that we'd have to spend
Yeah,
a
you
little
need.
time
I think
doing it.
perfect machine, it would take you a few hours.
Okay. Do you mind if I use this stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, you
mend
don't
technology.
mind, or no, you don't want me to use it.
No.
I'll take that as a maybe. Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll the D8.
Dick.
I love
Elric
you,
turns
kid.
to Bill. How has he survived this long? He's old. How is he still alive?
Shubil.
Sorry, I was just reacting to the roll, but go ahead, Bill.
He raises the side of a headphone. I'm sorry, this is like the best part of Starman. What was that?
Nothing important. Just
Shoot him with your
horrifying things.
Like, I think that like the songs that you listen to when doing your Skycourt stuff is very specific. Like, shoot the train man in the face, and like,
Don't let his gaze catch you.
Okay, so wines, you look, and probably not good enough for wines, but it's almost like it was before. You lose 3 points of stress off of supplies. You still need to fix one more before you can use it again.
Mhm.
But I mean, take what you will. She did okay.
All right. Once we settle down for the night, I might be able to do a little more with it. But for right now, look, and she'll hold up the little crack that's still there and go, see?
Oh, no way.
Does that where is that sound emanating from? I'm saying, is it through the
Crack in
hole?
the shield that when you put your lips up to it
Yeah,
and
that's
blow.
You
it's
blow
like
through it.
that's exactly what I imagined in my brain. So Wines looks at this. You've done good work. I will give you this. I only thought Elfir knew what they were doing, and a Vermissian Night could be able to get this done. But you have shown me that you are more than just beyond bees.
You know, I haven't had the bees my whole life. Like, I had a life before the bees.
You did?
Yeah.
I thought you were born with the bees.
Oh, darling, no. 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 Bees
So-
found me.
So you inherited bees?
Yep. Yep. In an auction, actually. I paid a pretty penny for them.
You bought bees
Oh,
And
it was a
instead-
steal.
of taking them home to make honey. You put them inside of your body to make honey.
Well, they make honey. You want honey?
No.
No.
Wines like grabs the shield, puts it on his back, goes, keep your mouth juices away from me. No.
I see
Excuse
those
me.
two standing in the doorway and everyone else like moving inside away from this.
Yeah.
All right. Inside of the warehouse, again, enormous. And it looks like that this space was indeed used for some sort of construction. There are still some signs of rubble here. You see remains of titanic dampening coils and burnt out sigils of protection. Like these sorcerers, who are also engineers, wanted to make sure that whatever they were doing in here was contained and protected from anything on the outside. Otherwise, there's a lot of garbage. Like it doesn't look like it's in great shape. But off in that corner where that branch goes off, you see what must be a separate workspace. And tacked up onto the wall is large, almost like a poster, but it's really a bunch of different pieces of paper cobbled together, and it's got a drawing on it. I'm going to put that drawing into your journals. This drawing looks like a schematic of some kind, but at the top of it, it is clearly labeled delving machine. And as you look it over, you can see it has parts labeled like reification engine, galvanic furnace, ab-reality drill, possibility cavitation. And so you start to piece this together. And I don't think it takes a rule. You figure out that they built two things in here. They built the Eastern Express as an escape route, as a safety net, for if anything should happen, a way for them to escape. But this also was the place where the delving machine, whatever that is, was built. And looking this over, it is a construction of vast power and possibility. Wines, once you stop the bee talk and look at this thing, you notice that you've seen this vehicle before. It's a strange depiction of it. But that day when reality tore open and a train-like thing crashed through your mother's side of the family's home estate. This was that vehicle, some sort of train ripping through time. And for so long, you argued it's the last train, the apocalypse train that comes at the end, and blah, blah, blah. But now you see evidence to the contrary, that whatever this is, you don't know why it's jumping around in space, maybe in time, but you've seen its power.
Wines would react with, of course, after the kind of the horror of bees and bee honey conversation. You kind of notice that as he looks upon this, his body becomes very relaxed, and he's observing it in a way that is almost concerning and concerning to him, noticeably concerned.
Mhm.
This,
Maybe more concerned than they've ever seen wines react to something.
this is not good.
You're kind of looking at this thing like it did something to your mama.
What you say about my mama? Nah, he looks back to Jesse. I've seen this before.
You've seen the delving machine before?
There was a time after a really shitty meal and a bad hand. It was the last time I seen something like this. The memory is fuzzy. But I know what I saw. If this thing is here, if this thing is down there, we need to tread carefully.
I'll add that the other thing that you notice about this warehouse is in the far corner, and again, huge airplane hangar times 5, like just enormous space. But in one far corner, there appears to be a separate room with sort of a wide doorway set out in front that is set apart from the rest of the workshop.
Can Bill, Toby, and Elric be over there?
Sure. You're over there. Ta-da!
Just looking at the door, scratching the peach fuzz on his chin.
There could be another thing with a lantern in there. That would be really unfortunate.
It would be very unfortunate indeed. If only there
Alternatively, it could be worse. There could be another Vermissian Night. We already have one of those, and you know the noises that makes.
I lost the receipt to wine, so we can't return him. So
Shit, well, you had one job, Bill. One job.
sorry, you know all of the paperwork and.
Toby just opens the door.
Toby, you release the dark energies inside. Just kidding. There's no dark energies inside. You found the cafeteria. This place is in bad shape, but it seems like the dining hall where they would all sit and have meals together. If you want to search the area, you can. It would be a discern desolate for anyone who wants to take a look around in here.
Might
Get an
I
idea.
activate my etherometer compass?
You may. And that will help with this, if you'd like. Ooh, Toby, not so good.
Not so good.
What about Bill? Bill, are you going to use your compass to sort of look for weirdness in this room?
Yeah. Would I be rolling the occult of the compass or desolate of this place?
This is a discern desolate by, but if you want, you can use the compass and see if there's anything occulty in here. If you want to use that die.
Yeah, Sure.
Okay. So, discern occult. Excellent. Great. Toby, you are just scouring top to bottom. You don't see anything worth looking at. But Bill, as you sort of scan around the room, the arrow of the compass, it keeps on like it doesn't steadily point one way, but it keeps on like pinging to a corner of the room. And when you get there, you notice a small like service door in the lower wall, and you open it up, and there's like a little nest in there. Not an animal nest, but like a sign of somebody living here. And Toby, you start to hear this crying, like a ghostly keening, the sound of a child wailing. And you look around, and your death is back. They're with you again, but they look up at you and they go, "It's not them." So, Toby, here's what we're going to do for your stress here.
Mhm.
We're going to do a d6 to your mind. So you take 1 point of mind stress, and then roll me a fallout check to see how Toby reacts to this. Minor fallout. Ooh, tough. Um, minor fallout. You hear this crying, and at first maybe you assume it's the kids, but you like are looking around, and you feel for the first time vulnerable in the presence of the undead, of ghosts, because this feels ghostly, but you can't pinpoint it. You don't know if they're really here or not. So this fallout vulnerable, it's ongoing, and it means that you can't use mind protection until you resolve it at a haven or something like that. So after a moment, it fades. Get the impression that maybe it's an echo of the past, but it's unsettling. And when you look inside this little nest, it has the vibe of who's the kid from the Alien movie, the first one, who was living in the walls, and Sigourney Weaver
Oh
finds
shit!
the
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
girl. She gives
Oh.
it a name like Animal or Butch or
Get away
something
from
like
my
that.
daughter, you bitch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I forget, Mutt or something like that. I don't remember what it is, but
Newt.
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 Thank
Yep.
you.
Newt. Newt.
Um, Thank you. Oh, that's Jim. Yeah, Jim. It feels like there was a child who was living here.
How old does the nest look? Is like cobwebs on it or freshly?
Yes. Just like everything else in here, once you're inside this warehouse, you get the impression that nobody else except for the Watchman has set foot in here for 150 years.
That means they're an adult now.
Maybe. Or maybe they're dead.
They're not an adult. They
Uh,
didn't make it.
Very sure of that.
Yes.
Great, lovely. I trust your instinct. Shiba's gonna tentatively reach his hand and rummage around where he thinks the aether meter was indicating.
Yeah. You take your hand and you start like there's some what must have been used as bedding or something like that. It's just mostly a pile of rags on the ground. And as you look around, you pull out a small holy symbol with a red ribbon on it. And you would know, just from your like knowledge of the world around you, that this is the holy symbol of like a priest of Incarn, Incarnate, who is, if you know the class, the Incarnadine, is the god of debt and debtors. And this has been put here, you think, as a ward. Somebody was protecting whatever child was living here from outside energies. It's not particularly valuable. It's probably a D4 niche item, but you can take it if you wish. So the question is, do you all set up camp and stay here in creepy old train station, or do you press on?
Is Jesse still with Wines or no? Or did you
Yeah.
go with them?
No. I was with you. I think
Okay.
the sad boys and Shoebill went further.
Gotcha. Wines would take the time to, as he's looking at this, understanding that there's been fireside talk between the two. So there's some peanut butter and jelly sandwich there. He puts his hand like on the paper of the ab reality drill, and he just has his hand on that piece for long as he's like kind of scanning the entirety of the thing. He kind of stops there, and he looks back to Jesse. Bad meal. And then from out of nowhere, this destroyed my entire other half of my family.
Oh, so it did do something to your mama.
My mama's dead.
I'm sorry.
And so is my aunts, nephews, and aunties and uncles on my mother's side. My other side's still good, but that's not the point. This here didn't belong there. This piece, this I know. I've worked on these pieces before. This is what comes. This is how they get to.
I'm not following.
I'm not understanding why it was there and also here.
Well, it's not here. Just the paper is.
No, I'm talking about the train. The train. This, after I had left the party, this here opened up and killed everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get that piece, we may be able to get back there.
Jesse, as he mentions this, the thought crosses your mind that, what Wines is saying in his way is that this has all of the bones of a train, of a Vermissian train, but these extra things mean that it's not only not limited to tracks, it's not limited to time or space. It's a TARDIS train, but it destroys everything in its path.
You think maybe whoever tried to kill Bill is riding around on these things?
I think you might be onto something. Something tore a hole in reality.
That thing.
This thing.
Yeah.
But that thing in particular. This is the thing that might rip open the time. If that person is utilizing this piece, it might bring us closer not only to how it is done, but why it was done on that day.
Maybe.
We should look around for evidence of this abnormality drill.
You spend some time looking around. All of you sort of scour the rest of this place and don't come up with anything else. Whatever it was, it's gone. And where it is now might be the wrong question. And I'm not even going to make the joke when it is now. You know what I mean? Or, like anything like that. It's you are literally off the rails. Do you all camp here? Or do you want to keep on looking for the Eastern Express down the tracks?
Can we clear Fallout on our own? Or
If you set up camp, you would need mend equipment to clear Fallout for the most part. So, and you might have that. Like you might have booze or you might have drugs that could help with mind fallout. There's a list that I put in the journals that you have there about how to like heal fallout stuff. So you could do that here, or we could just hand wave this as you rest there for the night and you press on in the morning.
What's our internal clocks telling us? How long have we been active?
Sleepy time. It feels like sleepy time because you remember like this morning started by you walking to Coin Pit. That was this morning.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, it's time to go to bed, y'all.
Yep.
The mattress.
I would like to recommend sleeping in the cafeteria because it is a lot more smaller than the 5 wingspan hangar.
Yeah, the other space does feel like sleeping in just outside, but not outside. You know?
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Cozy.
something about working in a very large warehouse when it gets dark and you have only a localized, like, little bit of light. It sucks.
As
does anyone-
promised, I am going to wash the motor oil blood out of Elric's hair, and give him a little bit of a trim with my hairdressing kit.
Excellent. Yeah, that you know what? You have a hair. Does she have a hairdressing kit?
I
Like,
do, yeah. Well, no, it's part of
Um,
my trinkets. It's a hairdressing
oh, is
kit
it? Okay.
complete with scissors, a razor, and a mirror.
What kind of stress does Elric have right now?
2 blood, 3 mind.
Roll a d4,
Okay.
and you can regain that much mind. So just like getting a haircut is magic sometimes.
Perfect. Thank you.
I promised
True to your word.
that I am.
Okay. Does anyone else do anything before you sleep, or do you? You don't have to set up a watch and blah blah blah. We don't have to worry about that shit.
Oh, thank God.
But
Where's the homunculus? Where's the
that's
trash
the question. So
homunculus?
you get up to like secure the door to the cafeteria, and as you look out, you see this at the far door that you originally came in. You see like a tiny little head of like almost like compost and like banana peels and shit sort of like lean around, and it's like a mile away, right? But it's like lean around, and then like the Three Stooges above it, a second little head emerges that's identical, and they are just looking in your general direction.
Your seed is potent, Bill. Well done.
I'm sorry, my what?
And then you're gonna get some trash followers.
Trash monkey! Trash monkey!
You got friends over there, Bill.
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
You got some friends over there, Bill.
Anyway. Oh, it didn't. I clapped.
That
3
was
times.
awful. That was...
I hate you.
When Bill claps 3 times in keeping with the theme song, you hear far, far away from where those 2 little things are in your hair.
Fucking hate that.
You did that. You did that. That's on you. That's your fault.
I have a fucking tirade at break.
Okay.
I have a tirade to go.
Amazing.
Fantastic. We're gonna press on a little bit longer before we get to break. We're gonna go a little bit longer here. So you sleep.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't, whatevs. It's not a secure and safe good night's sleep, so it doesn't really help. But you have the energy back to keep going. The next morning you wake up and it's if you've ever been in a place that's like pitch black, you go to sleep, you wake up, who knows? It's like living in fucking northern
Alaska.
Sweden, right? Like during winter, it's like you don't know where night starts and ends. It is, you're like, I guess it's daytime. There you don't even hear the bells this far down, like the bells that mark the hours. But you all get up eventually and say, well, I guess I'm rested, and pack up and start to go. And then you approach those back doors. Who is it that is the brave soul who wants to open these back doors? There's nothing weird here. I just want to describe it.
I think Bill is reaching forward, muttering to himself, "No barrel of monkeys, no barrel of monkeys, no barrel of monkeys." It will just throw the doors open.
You throw the doors open. There's a barrel of monk. No, just kidding. So the tracks do continue on from this place. But on the other side of the wall, there is a distinct shift. It starts as like, okay, warehouse, shantytown, industrial park vibes. And then as the tracks proceed, like from where you can see that the cave walls start to widen interminably and then almost like melt away as the tracks descend a little bit and head down into an area that looks almost like a marsh or a swamp. There is this mist down there that is hovering over the surface, the ground. And it does this thing that maybe some of you have seen before, where the heart wants you to think that you're outside, because up above there is this blood red sky that is over this marshy area. The tracks continue down into the mist, and then you lose sight of them.
This place is weird as fuck.
You're just noticing that, huh?
I just, you only see so many layers, and then this whole Red Sky. I knew a man named Red Sky once. He was weird too.
It was weird.
Is there any like heart plant life or vegetation or little aminals?
Well, do you want to head down to that marshy area? Or toward it, at least?
Maybe
Seems
toward
like
it.
the only direction we have to go.
Yeah.
Keep following the tracks. Looking for any sign of where the Eastern Express went, or if they got out. Or the delving machine.
Could be worse. This could have been the Cavern of Teeth and Tongues. That one's very unpleasant. Never a good time. This is nothing by comparison.
You've been to a cavern of teeth and tongues?
Yeah. You just 50-yard stare. Trauma.
Elric, traumatized.
I will spare all of you the imagery.
You move on, and when you cross over, it kind of has the effect of like a depressurization, where it's like, okay, or like a change in altitude, where it's like, it feels like the air here is thick and sticky.
Oh God, I want to put him on my rebreather.
Okay.
Immediately, you see, kind of whines as that feeling comes over. You just like.
Can I try and cast a spell?
Sure. What are you casting?
A spell of perpetual citronella.
Yeah. Permanent citronella.
Yeah.
A bug repello.
Yeah.
You got to roll for it though.
Compel occult.
I would say endure occult.
Endure occult.
Would also work. Yeah.
Endure occult. My mind's back to this. Okay. 6.
Yeah. You go to cast this spell, and you all have that like sickly sweet citronella smell in your nostrils, and then like this mosquito the size of a house cat like floats down in front of you. Bailey goes, "Fuck that!" Turns around and flies away. And you take 2 mind stress from your encounter with this weird bug.
What the shit was that?
and you're gonna see a bug that talks to you. Um, uh, uh, um, as you look, it widens out into openness, like being outside, and throughout the marsh, the tracks keep going, but then off the tracks a good distance are trees. And these trees, it's funny that someone said this earlier, I think it was before we started, but are like mangrove trees where the roots stretch down into the water, but the roots look like fingers, where there are like folds where the knuckles should be. And there amongst them, you see one that's relatively young. You see this little sapling tree, but it is off the track. And you don't know how far off, maybe 50 feet. But as you get down to the marsh, you realize the track is submerging. It goes underwater a few feet. So you'd have to go off through the marsh, through the water, to check these trees out.
Have any of you ever seen the Mummers play Anaconda?
No.
You're about to experience something new.
Yeah, I've seen that, says the mosquito.
All right. Mosquito of culture.
I'm not getting anywhere near you, man. That smells awful. Horrible.
Citronella is a mosquito's worst enemy.
May I send the babies out to inspect some of these trees?
Oh my god.
Yep. Here they go, bees. The bees go off and go a little zoomy, zoom
Mhm.
over towards a small copse of trees where that small one is,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
and they sort of zoom down, zoom around, and the trees don't seem to move at all, and you can't even tell if it's like, oh no, the trees are gonna grab you. They don't make any move of that approach of that kind. They just sort of stand there and look like fingers. It is weird though. Each one of the trees has 5 roots going down.
Can I ask y'all for a favor?
What?
Will you help me get one of those little baby trees?
You want one of those hand trees?
Just a little one, not one of the big hand trees, like one of the little baby hand trees.
Such a fucking cursed image.
What? No, you don't. They're palms.
Ha,
God.
ha, ha.
Oh wait, no, I could
Everyone takes one
actually.
before mind stress for that.
Sure, I'll help you.
Yeah, Elric nods and he starts marching along as well.
Does the rebreather allow you to breathe underwater?
Does not. Protects you
Never
from
mind.
spores, gas, poisonous swamp mist, if it should come to that.
Could you
Um,
technically utilize technology to make it
Adapt
into?
it?
Yes.
Given enough time and equipment, the right equipment, yeah. If you get to like a haven, it would have to be done like at some sort of settlement with the right tools.
Understood.
Yeah. So who's going into the swamp, and who's just going to stick to the tracks? Those 3 are going to go down into the water. Great.
I'll go swamp.
Oh, you going to go in the
I-
swamp too,
I'll go swamp.
Bill?
I will stay on Overwatch on dry land.
Okay. Bill, so just to hand wave this, Bill, you stand there, and during your watch, the thing you see is that you turn around, and like half a mile away are 2 trash homunculi, sort of like lingering and acting like nothing's happening, and they're supposed to be there.
You know there's gonna be a third.
I love the prophetic music in the
It's so good.
headphones.
It's so good. Everybody else, make me a hunt cursed roll. Nice. That is success for wines. That is a failure for you, boy Elric.
Yeah.
And that is a critical success.
Woo!
Toby, what about the Yizzy? Success. You are all sort of like making your way through when a figure that looks like a head, but it is pale and translucent, almost gummy, rises up out of the water with a lamprey eel mouth and latches onto Elric's leg.
Elric shouts, "No, bad," and starts swatting.
Well, first of all, Elric, as this thing lays its teeth into you, you take 5 blood stress.
Ooh!
And as you take that stress, the thing starts to go from translucent to red as Elric's blood starts flowing through it. And that's when all of you realize there are others, that this is not the only one of these leech people in the swamp. Elric, roll me a Fallout check.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Minor fallout.
Minor Fallout. So that'll be minor blood fallout. I'll let you decide what that is. Preferably something, blood related.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as this thing is like latched onto Elric, you finally reach the place where the tree is. Are you gonna do something with the tree? Or are you just gonna
I'm
run
taking
back?
that. I'm taking a little cutting of that sapling. It's coming with me.
Yeah. So I need a roll for you to like successfully extract the tree and get back to the tracks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can get back in one action. We're not going to make this a whole drawn out thing, but this is going to be risky.
Okay.
Does your protection still apply? I think you're out of the situation, so no.
We are out of the situation, yeah, so
Okay.
it wouldn't.
All right.
That's
So this would be
okay.
like endure, hunt, cursed.
Could
something like
I venture a hunt wild because this
Yes,
is a
hunt
natural
wild is correct.
thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Right. 7.
Jesse, you reach down under the water and you can feel other things in this murky water like nipping at your hands as you like are digging this thing up.
Bad.
So,
No, bad. Don't lie. Bad.
ouch. You take 8 blood damage
Ooh.
as they do that, but you get the tree up. Let's roll a Fallout check to see if anything else comes up as well.
Okay. So I have 2 blood protection, so I only take 6 of
6?
that.
6.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a Fallout.
Yeah, that's due. Major Fallout. Go ahead and find me a Fallout, but you do get the tree and you start hightailing it back to the others. Do you just hightail it back? I need a roll for you all to retreat from the leech people. Or you can like hit them with something, whatever. They're a minor hindrance.
Elric shouts, "That's mine!" And he's going to exsanguinate to try to pull his blood back from the leech.
Fantastic.
Incredible.
Do you want to roll for this to see how it goes?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
By the
And
way, he is limping now.
Got it.
That is
There we
his
go.
fallout.
Okay, leg blood loss. Got it.
Yeah. Do I clear my blood stress after that?
You do.
All
yeah.
right.
And Jesse clears all stress
Oh, dang.
Well,
Okay.
because it's major Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, exsanguinating the thing.
Okay. Success. Yeah. You like go to like suck your blood back out, and what we'll say is I'm gonna give you not as severe here, but you do take 3 mind stress as instead of the blood going back into you, it explodes.
Oh, it doesn't normally do that, he says.
Which blood goes everywhere. You take 3 mind stress. Don't worry about a Fallout this time. You can just hang on to it if you want,
Awesome.
because you already took a bad one.
They're all really bad.
What are Wines and Toby doing here?
Running back towards the tracks, I think.
Great.
Yeah, the surfing
I'd like
on the
rolls
shield.
from both of you. I'm open to suggestions as to what these rolls are. There's definitely some occult happening here. There's some cursed happening here. There's wild.
Endure occult.
Perfect. That works for Toby. Derek, does Wines have something he wants to roll?
Yeah, I would say if he's to evade the leeches, and then he's
Yeah.
just kind of like jump on the shield and kind of just
He's gonna
surf
surf.
off the top of the water. Yeah, just do that. So
Right.
evade
He's gonna
technology.
go surfing. Got it. Yeah, that evades technology is great if you want to invent surfing.
Yeah, there we go. That's right.
Yes,
Hit
yes.
the wave,
So,
hit the swell.
Toby,
do so
you're gonna
well.
take a D4 of probably, I don't know. I'll let you pick what field that goes into. Maybe Echo, maybe something else. But Wines invents surfing.
I have 1 echo protection, so I'll take 3
Great.
echo.
Echo's perfect. And then roll me a Fallout check, Toby. No Fallout. And everyone makes it back, and Jezzy is carrying this hand tree
Barely.
pulled up.
Was it worth it,
And-
Jezzy?
and
Not
Elric's covered in blood.
really. All of these are really bad. But I think I'm gonna have to go with critical injury.
Okay. All right.
You take a hit somewhere vital. The GM picks a skill that you have access to, and you no longer have access to that skill.
Perfect. Let me look at your sheet real quick.
Mhm.
You have a lot of skills.
Yeah.
You skilly person.
I'm a skilly
I'm gonna
skilly.
say that you stick your hands in there, and when you pull them out, they one of your hands it's kind of like Raynaud's syndrome, where like part of the finger goes white, but the whole hand has gone white from blood loss. So
no.
any mending that you do is for now until it gets fixed going to be impossible because you need your dexterity for that.
Oh
So your
no.
mend skill is gone for now.
Okay. So this is possible for it to be healed in some capacity.
Yeah, it's ongoing. All
Okay.
major fallout can be healed if you get to a haven, someplace safe.
Okay.
And you find a healer or something like that.
Yee.
You press on.
I think you just see her white hands after that question of was it worth it?
I'm glad you fixed my shield.
before this.
Kind of
You carry on feeling the tracks beneath your feet, but they get deeper until finally they're about to mid-thigh. Fortunately, you don't run into any more of those leeches. And eventually you see off in the distance the remains of a train engine and 3 carriages that clearly crashed and jumped the tracks and are sort of half submerged in the mire. You approach bit by bit, and with Wine's expertise and the rest of your experience, you see it's clearly at one point was like a Vermissian train, a subway train. And beneath the mud, you can make out the livery of the pulse line, the line that runs through the heart, the train line, and the words Eastern Express, like written across the side. There are instances across the doors and windows of arcano circuitry and protective wards etched all around it, sealing anyone from getting in or maybe coming out. And the last thing that you see before we go to break, as you get a little bit closer, you look through the window and there are corpses lining every car with their skin tinted in a natural green and a rictus grin frozen on each one of their faces, withered and desiccated, all human. And you found the Gwynardasi Cabal. And that's where we'll take our break. It's a good place to stop, I think. And we are going to be gone for, I think, 10 minutes. We also have to figure out what Shoebill did. And then when we come back, well, we won't tell you, but you'll see it play out in real time. And also, there's a train full of dead people. So we'll see what happens after this. Don't go nowhere. Hey, everybody, welcome to High Shelf Collective and Red Heaven, our actual play of Heart, the City Beneath. Our delvers found a train full of dead people, and hooray! So that's all we have to say about that. Campaign over. You did it. Um, so we joined them again on the tracks of the Eastern Express. Where they were intended to go, we don't know, but they ended up in a marsh, in a weird heart swamp with hand trees and leech people. And currently, you're all standing outside this train. What's everyone?
I had to
Oh,
do it a third
you-
time. It just comedy comes. I had to do it a third time tonight.
You never should apologize for the
Full
toot
circle.
toots.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But what's like everyone doing? Who's the first to like look in the windows and see the scene inside of these people? Their faces frozen in this death mask grin, like they're like smiling in a very unsettling way. And throughout the cars, they're well, who would look? Who's gonna look inside?
I think Toby would look
Yeah.
and then turn around at everybody and be like, "Do you want me to do the thing? I'll do the thing."
Toby, you look up and down the train, and as you look, you see these people, but then you also see that they're surrounded by like their worldly possessions and boxes and crates. You see some whatchamacallit, like arcane warded like carrying cases and briefcases of a sort, and it doesn't look like anyone's been in there. And Toby would know before everyone else reacts to Toby's question. Toby would know that the wards and stuff on this train are dangerous if they're broken without proper preparation.
There's wards in there.
Fun.
I was gonna say, do you want to do the thing, Toby?
I mean, I do, but we have to be careful of the wards.
Oh, your thing could get
Could disturb the wards.
got it.
Let me see if I have anything in my back pocket.
Monkey fucker says what?
That's very rude to call Granny Grimgoth a monkey.
Right. Yeah. Grimgoth.
Yes.
Would the wards count as a resource?
The wards themselves are not, but as you look inside, you do see a lot of retro tech components inside
Oof.
that are juicy as hell. And I'll just tell you this right away: to disarm those wards would be a mend technology roll.
Oof. That's not my
And,
wheelhouse.
I would like if Toby does something like if Toby tries to communicate like through them, you're gonna have a bad time. So you want them down.
Oh, this might suck. Okay. I'm going to try and Frenzy of the Sky Court so that I can activate my temporary perfection to get mend as a skill.
I love it. So you change the track on your magic headphones.
Yes.
Okay. And so it's like, if you wanna take down a ward, you've got to follow these simple steps. We can write it down.
You gotta make sure you remove the thorn, or else you're gonna get hurt in the end.
Mm-hmm. All of you watch. She will start dancing.
Told you. I have the thing. I have that the carnival thing.
Okay. Oh, I need to roll. First, I need to roll Evade Occult to try and activate Frenzy.
Ooh. Okay.
And then
Start with that.
6.
Well, the success. I'm gonna say. Does it say what the stress die would be here? I'm just gonna give you a D4 here.
Okay.
Of just because you've been beaten up a lot today. That's 4. That's a full 4. Of oh gosh, echo stress. It's echo because the sky above, that red roiling sky, gives you the impression that you are shrapnel in a wound. It
Oof.
feels gross in
You
here.
did clear
like,
all your stress after your major fallout, though.
True.
Okay,
True.
good.
So roll me a fallout check.
Yep. Sorry, let me just. Okay, Fallout.
No fallout. All good. Okay, so you feel like you're like, okay, yeah, I remember how to do mending technology things. You can do this. You can do this.
All
Is anyone
right.
trying to help Bill in any way? Remember, if you fail, you both get the stress.
Since I can't mend, I think she'll just with her with her flappy hands kind of stand over his shoulder and be like, "All right, not that, not that, no, not that. Okay, that one's fine."
Perfect.
You
Perfect.
better
Over the
listen to
shoulder, backseat
jazz.
driving. Your friend who's a knoll knows some stuff, but they've got broken hands and.
Are they singing about me?
Nope.
Let me.
Don't let them think the song is about them. Art is a basis for interpretation.
Oh, I know. I should have chose delusion.
You should have.
Amazing.
Yes.
It's too late now.
So I'm gonna roll men
okay,
technology.
So, men technology roll with help from Jesse. So plus one.
Fair warning, I have to take this as risky because of my Frenzy of the Sky Court ability.
Okey-doke.
Okay.
I can't focus on something for more than a couple of seconds.
Mhm.
69. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that sounds about right.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah. Sounds
Say the
pretty
trash one
similar.
to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna miss them when they're gone.
Yeah,
You do
I
take
bet
some
you will.
stress. I won't
It's a
have the
full
words.
relationship, huh? Okay.
I won't have the words explode on you, but both you and Jesse are going to take a bit of, we'll say, fortune stress. So you both take 4 points of stress to fortune. And then I need Bill to roll me a fallout check. I don't think Jesse rolls one if you help. Oh, maybe
Yay,
you do.
minor
Maybe you do.
fortune fallout.
Minor fortune fallout for Bill. Jesse, will you roll me a fallout check too? I think you should roll one.
Okay.
As you're trying to like tell Bill what to do. No fallout.
No
You step away.
fallout.
What would a minor fortune fallout for Bill be in this moment?
That
Let's
would be
look at
so
the fallouts.
mean.
Oh, well, I want to do it then. What is it?
Oh, I was looking at collateral. The next time you mark
yeah.
stress, a nearby ally marks the same amount.
Yep. That's a good one. But since you've already said no, we're going to say, unlucky. Things are going to get worse before they get better. You cannot use fortune protection.
Oof.
Did you have any fortune protection anyway? Who knows? But you feel unlucky because like it zaps you. Like this ward zaps you, but then they fade, and they are deactivated.
Yeah, that sucked. Toby,
Wow.
do your thing.
What domain would this be? Is it cursed, desolate, occult?
This place, the remains of the Eastern Express, is technology cursed.
Cursed it is. All right. Here we go. Nine.
And what are you trying to accomplish here?
So I'm doing echoes. I want to recreate significant events that happened on the train, but I'm going to use my fragmentary recollection to speak with the echoes when I can.
Okay. When Toby does this, sometimes it takes like some effort, like a little bit of like sacrifice on his part. In this case, it's almost like the echoes want to be dredged up. They almost jump at the chance. And as you look through, you don't see the bodies move or anything change, but when you look past them, in the reflection of the windows on the other side of the train car, you see a group of humans huddled together in a hasty exodus, trying to escape their masters, the Aelfir. And they are on this train when somebody says something and takes a vial out from their bag and opens it. And then this gas begins to fill the train at an inordinate speed. It is just dispersing quickly, and everyone starts to choke and gasp. And then their eyes roll back in their heads, and their mouths become this tight grin, and their eyes are screaming in pain and suffering. But as they all slump down, they die, and it reaches the front of the car, and soon afterwards you can hear like the train lose its mooring. It comes off the tracks as the driver of the train, conductor, all succumb to this. And as you think that through, I think that even Elric, in your sort of like, familiarity with death and all those things, you're almost a dead walker yourself. You can feel it as well, and you think, these people were poisoned. Like, this was a hit. And they thought they were out. Like, they thought they were free. And then it was taken away from them. And that's no way to die.
I share this with the group.
It made its way all the way to the front of the train, too.
That's how it derailed.
1 cart, 2 cart, front of the train. Right, DM?
Correct. Yeah. We could say that it probably started in the train second from the front and then spread. Some toxins, poisons that maybe Bill knows of, other folks, is engineered in such a way that it just, like a cloud.
Poisons are one of the worst ways to die. Slow, suffering. It's miserable every time.
You'd prefer something else?
Swift, ideally.
Sure, bro.
If you're gonna die a slow, painful death, do you just want us to?
Well, the issue is, even if you do, probably won't be the end. Ideally, when I die, I just will die and I won't have to come back. It's complicated, really.
So if we cut your head off, you wouldn't die?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, that doesn't do it. I've been crushed, in fact, before. I've really died in really imaginative ways. The heart does that, but they don't really take.
Huh.
Mhm.
How many times, if you don't?
Oh,
mind
I
me
kept
asking?
count. I got to triple digits and I stopped counting. Yeah. It's not great.
So you don't want to go in there, then?
No, I'll go in there. It's fine. It'll just be another one added to the pile. And who
Great.
knows? Maybe this is the one that does it.
Hold on. Wait. We have resources. Sex monkey.
Yes, Sex Monkey, please.
Here, sex monkey.
Are you talking to the homunculus, or are you talking to Bill?
I'm looking at Bill.
Yeah. But Wines is looking past Bill to one of the monkeys. Sex monkey.
These tiny little children-sized trash golems look out from behind one of those trees. They wandered off into the swamp for some reason, and they're like flanking you. And there's 3 of them,
Oh, God.
and they look at you, and they go, and you hear one of them. And again, they're very far away, but one of them goes, "Oh,"
sex monkey, listen to me. You've already done the greatest of service by pleasing one of our own. Now we ask upon you to do something even more important.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Go
Elric.
into here and see what you can find. Just one, though. One sex monkey.
While Bill reacts to this, roll me a compel cursed roll the sex monkeys.
What does Wines mean by pleased one of our members?
Oh, come on now. Don't play coy, but that's disgusting, really. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna,
Don't make us relive it, please.
please. Some of us are trying to forget.
Now this monkey will please us. Get
Oh, no, why'd you have to say
No,
it like
please.
that?
Why would you?
inside of the train and find us the things we need.
That's still kind of innuendo-y, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Get inside my train.
Oh,
Because
Gotta
we-
go in
No,
building.
no,
Wines.
no.
Wines, you take 4 stress to mind, having remembered what you witnessed yesterday. And at that point, the three trash monculus like very warily like come out from behind and start wading through the water over to where you are. And as they get closer, you realize that each of them is unique, but they each have their own similar patterns to them. They are mostly comprised of rotting or decaying vegetation mixed with some harder stuff, refuse and things like that. And all 3 of them, you thought it was just the light, but all 3 of them have like eyes that are little golden pinpricks deep in these sockets. And they all walk up, and one of them, the leader, obviously, comes to you and says, "Hey."
What the fuck?
They all turn towards Bill and look up at Bill, and they all go,
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Wine's not nodding and look to the rest of the group and says, What?
Could one of you get inside the train and kind of see what's going on in there? I think that's what I said, yeah.
That's exactly what she said.
It turns around, sort of walks over to the door and pushes on the door of this subway car.
It's a pull. It's a pull.
It's looking for a handle. Wines, you know that they're subway car doors. They go, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
But these little guys are struggling with that just a little bit. They are like getting their fingers in, trying to like work together to pull them open.
Wines goes, pretend it's like the bee hole. 2 hands.
Okay, now I'll take offense to that.
And they go, and they pry it apart. And when they do, the stuff that is like inside on the floor shifts, and a cloud of poison
Yeah.
comes up and starts to drift out of the door towards all of you. But since you're outside, you could back away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wines doesn't. He still has his rebreather mask on. So he is going to kind of like turn, like the shield that's on his back, he's going to turn it. I imagine it's like turning like a key lock like this. So it kind of blocks the path from everybody else. And I'm just going to stand in front of it and watch the homunculi. So I would like to see what they do first as they enter.
Even with the rebreather on, you're protected, don't worry, but you can smell the distinctive attar, the odor of an Elfir poison called Blessed Forgiveness. It's used in various elf rituals. It is very nasty piece of work. But the little homunculi don't seem to be affected by it. And with your rebreather, you seem to be all right. So if you'd like, you could go in.
Yeah, Wine's
The three of
Wine-
them go in. They start picking through stuff.
Wine's going behind them, and
Sam.
he would walk in behind them, observe their monkeyage, and the first thing that Wines would look for is that who was the one who opened the poison?
You're looking
Like,
for that person in
like
particular?
the canister, or the person, or the person next to the canister?
It's somebody that's sort of near the door, and you can see there the remnants of that vial that were just rattled enough with the opening of the door that the last dregs of this poison was released. 150 years after the initial attack.
Is this person of human like, or is he of that of possibly elf here? Is he shrouded?
By your estimation, everyone on here is human,
Okay.
which means that this person probably wasn't behind it. They were probably somebody planted this on them before they got on the train. And when they found it and opened it, just killed everyone aboard.
Okay.
Any
And
good
as
shit,
you sort of
Lance?
You see Wine's kind of his head just poke, like as he's inside the train, his head pokes out. He's like, "They were poisoned by good elf-ear poison. Not the weird stuff of the elf. The beehole poison. He gets it." Head goes back. He's Wines wants to just take another peek to see if the poison that was let out killed everybody.
Yeah.
Was there a person that looked like it killed last?
You would imagine where you are on the train, probably the people in the engine. Like it's probably just naturally, even though it was very fast acting, it spread that way.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Why don't you head to the first cart then? You would just start walking that way.
you start working your way through, and as you do, you start to hear things. At first, you see maybe like a little tracer of light just sort of zip past your face, and then as soon as that's gone, there's like a moment where you think that there's someone like moving in the window, and you turn to look, and it's just you. It's just your reflection. So you keep moving forward. And then in the window, you can see the bodies of these people start to move and crack with the movements of their limbs. But in your car, they're not moving. It's only in that reflection where you sort of look back and forth, and then they all sort of stand up. Everyone outside, if you're following Wines, you can start to see this as well. And Toby, it looks like right next to Wines in this train, there's this face that you've seen before in your dreams, appears in the window and stares out at you before blinking away.
Wines, be careful.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of poison inside of here. I'm being careful. But there's movement in this next train cart.
Those ghosts in the reflection start to open their mouths and their jaws distend to an unnatural length. And they start to scream. They're screaming a century's worth of bitterness through withered throats, and they are pointing at you. and you realize they're saying Elfir, Elfir.
Couldn't have been me. Don't profile me. It couldn't have been me.
And then the bodies in the train car you're in start to crack and move as they start to stand up again.
Oh shit.
Wines gets out of there. He starts running to where the hole is, but when he's running back, he looks at the rest of the trash monkey. He says, "Trash monkey, do your thing. Kill all of the people."
Start playing with swords and knives.
The trash monkey pulls out an AK-47.
Hell yeah! Man, Commissioner
You had that the whole time?
The trash monkey gets out their proton pack and their ghost busting equipment and points it at these guys. No, they don't. The trash monkey throws an apple core at one of the ghosts and it goes through the ghost. Wines, as you are running for the exit, you pass by like one particular crate that looks like it's full of old documents and a gilded case. Are you running for the exit?
Hard stop. Grabs case.
Okay.
Continues to run.
Roll me endured cursed at risky as you take the time to stop and get this crucial plot information.
Oh.
Everybody hurts.
4. You are going to take a D8 worth of stress to, we'll say, echo. That's 8 echo stress.
Oh my god.
And then I'll need a fallout check for Wines as you stumble and fall in the cart itself. Okay, we're going to get some minor echo fallout. I'd like to know, what's everyone else doing as you see Wines stop and then stumble and faceplant inside?
Fuck. Shit.
Well, he's hoping this works. Is it ghosts specifically chasing Wines, or is it ghosts and bodies chasing Wine?
It is reanimated bodies possessed by their original inhabitants. So yes, these are ghosts. And we'll say that you don't need to roll to know that ghosts are nasty. Especially, I mean, any old time, right? But if we want to like break it down into sort of like techno speak, in heart, ghosts have a resistance of 5, so that's fine. But they have a protection of 10. So the first 10 points of damage do nothing per turn, per action. The way you beat ghosts, and Toby would know this, is why I'm sharing it. The way you beat ghosts is through knowledge.
Okay.
It's what binds them here, what do they need. Remember, you encountered ghosts in high rise. You know that like you don't fuck with them unless you know how to exercise them or put them to rest or something.
Wines, you have to be smarter than them. What am I saying?
There is no
He's dead.
answer because inside the car, as you run up to look through the window, Wines is gone.
Ooh.
Wines has taken the fallout glitch, in which he disappears from existence and will reappear later.
Just trips out of existence. That's so
Just
funny.
hits the floor. His fear projects him somewhere else.
Yikes.
Wines?
Wines?
I have a spell I would like to cast.
Let's do it.
It's a spell. It's a named spell called Greed of the Red King. Roll Discern plus Occult to cast the spell. On success, you determine what a target you see wants most of all right now. In addition, you can smell money or anything of particular value.
Let's do it, baby. Roll that bean
Yes.
Let's see. Discern and Occult, and that's...
I'll help you. No, I can't help you with a spell. Never mind.
You're fine.
I could technically help with magic-y things.
10!
There we go. No need.
So, seeing all of these ghosts, you are comforted from the point of view of, you know, time efficiency that they all want the same thing. So we don't have to go through each one, because there's like 6 of them that you can see right now. But the ghosts that are awakened that you can see, they have on the surface level the motivation of hate, 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 kill, kill, kill. Beneath that, you can see what they really want, which is vengeance against the one who poisoned them. And that would help them be laid to rest. But you don't know who that is. That box that Wines stopped to pick up before he face planted is full of D8 valuable stuff. You can smell it. There's also like, not only can you smell it, it's occult technology stuff. So it's like, ooh, it makes you tingle.
What do they want? Phil, what do they want?
They want to punish whoever poisoned them. I can't tell though who, if any of them, were the perpetrators.
Okay. Can I try talking to the ghost?
Certainly can.
Okay.
Okay. What do you say? We're not in like a combat thing here. We're still in the opening moments. You could try to fight them, but that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. We're just kind of finding out what happened here, and I'm really sorry. That was real fucked up. Especially with all the work that y'all did and everything you were trying to do, and yeah, that's real fucked up. If
So
you want,
when you start talking, let me interject real quick. When you start talking, they're still like in like screaming moan mode. And when you say, especially considering all the work that you did, they stop and they look at you.
yeah,
Keep going.
You've
Yeah.
stirred something, you know.
yeah, I know y'all were Gwenardasi, right? Yeah, you
And
did
they
all that
nod.
work. All that work, a beautiful work. And for them to come and do something like that to you, that ain't right. That ain't right at all.
And you can see that one of them is, well, first of all, make me a compel cursed.
May I do compel a cult?
You can do that. I would say Toby's helping here if he's up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. Plus 1. Yeah, come on.
Here we go. A 10.
Nice.
They are
Help.
listening intently. And when you mention these vestiges of the life they used to have, it's like you have woken something up inside of them. And one of them starts to make the attempt through a withered throat to form a word. And then he says, Aramos. Aramos.
Aramos. Okay. Is Aramos a person?
Nods.
Do you think that's who did this to you?
They all nod in unison in a very unsettling way.
Okay. I tell you what. It looks like y'all have some like documents and stuff in here. If we can take some of that along and take a look at it, we're gonna find that sumbitch.
And at that moment, they all collapse into their resting forms, and Wines reappears on the floor next to the box.
My God, Wines, you did what Bill did with those monkeys with ghosts? Really, Wines? Really?
No, that would have been too unsacred if I did that. You know everything about being unsacred.
Wines, get out of the train car.
Scurries like on all fours out of the train
You
car.
get-
Bring
have that
the
box, drag
documents.
it
Oh,
over.
they said that we could.
You all watch as Bill's nose starts to bleed as he's trying to process what the fuck Elric just told him.
Bill, you're looking around from person to person, and then you look at what the leader of the homunculi, who we'll call Francis, and Francis looks back at you, and if it had eyebrows, it would go and wiggle them at you.
I need a shower.
You pull this box out, and it's full of stuff that will take you a good long while to read and look over. But there are a few things of note. There's a handful of letters. I'm going to put all of them in there. But the thing that really catches your eye is that at the bottom of it is this gilded box. Like it screams, this is something important inside here.
Why don't
That's
you
just
put the
screaming
box
something's important in there.
up? Somebody else
Just
open the
gonna-
box. I went in the train.
One of the homunculi goes up to open the box.
Not you, sex monkey.
Okay.
Sure. I'll open the box.
You
With wet hands.
Oh shit.
oh, get wrecked.
I've got it. I've got it. And he just flips
Straps
open
with
the
her
box.
elbows.
I love it. So, Elric,
sad.
you now
Yeah.
go and open this box up, and inside this box that's marked, it's like a crate. It's mid-sized, but it's marked with all of these Aelfir sigils. They're not protective in nature. They're just, typical of Aelfir. They're mostly like, this is the good shit. You know what I mean? And so like they're like price tags. And so you open it up, and inside is it's a device. It looks almost like it could be a pair of glasses or goggles. Bill, when you see him pull it out, Bill would know this is a kinetoscope.
Huh.
This is a device for showing basically GIFs. Short, zootropic Nickelodeon style, frame by frame things if you move the lenses of it.
Wines, can I see that a moment?
Pick it.
Okay.
Oh, one of them's gonna get real sarcastic. Great.
More like shut.
It's not Francis. You've got it now. It is in your hands, Bill.
Their
Is
names
there,
are
like-
Francis, Ford, and Coppola.
So is there like
Huh?
a film preloaded into it, or like quote unquote?
It's like it doesn't have modular parts or exchangeable parts. It is already what it is. So it only shows one thing, whatever's on these lenses already. You hold it up to your eyes, and you turn the handle. The heart is unknowable. It's unmappable, infinite. You can reduce infinities to a symbol, or etch the bleeding edge of a universe as a line on a glass plate. The Gwynardasi did not map the heart, but they did create a model. The problem is, Bill, when you look at this, those images, they expand and contract. It's almost like the drawings on the inside are a beating heart. Any sort of animation here is not live. It was recorded a long time ago, but it is a throbbing and a pulsing, a heartbeat. But it is Well, it's a map. There is a map of all of the lines coming together, and all of these different areas that are familiar. There's a place called Gap Station that you've heard of. There are other stations on the Vermissian line. But as you move the frames from piece to piece, you see that toward the end, there is a burning after image that almost sears itself into your eye, and it bears the words Amiran Zone on it. And you can't help but understand that this place, the Amiran Zone, is a wound. It is an open and festering wound in the heart. And not only that, but there's something in it. And it's burrowing ever deeper. But past that, Bill, just past it, you can see what you want more than anything in the world. And that's when the ground starts to shake. The entire marsh cave that you are in starts to rumble and quake, and the waters around you start to turn in a whirlpool motion. And you can feel yourselves silently being dragged toward the middle. The train goes through, the tracks, the trees all crash through. And no matter how you try, finally, all of you, including the trash monkeys, including Aeneas, and everyone else, are pulled into this vortex, and everything around you goes black. You don't know how long you're gone, but as you open your eyes, the first one of you to open your eyes, let's say it's Bill, having had his eyes opened once already recently. When Bill opens his eyes, he's on the shore. You're on a beach. It's like some sort of sand, but the sand is a little bit like red dust. But you do know that out in front of you, as you start to get your bearings back, and as the rest of you wake up one by one, there is an ocean. But instead of blue water, you see red shapes wriggling and squirming, filling this vast, vast void. And maybe Elric sort of sits up and squints his eyes and looks around. And down the shoreline, Elric, you can see what must be a lighthouse, but it tilts ever so slightly. It's black and white stripes leading up, and at the bottom of it, these red tendrils of heart energy trying to climb up and retake it and being pushed back. And from that lighthouse, you see a figure, a person, walking towards you. He's wearing very simple clothes. They're wearing very simple clothes. Pants that are cut off just below the knee, and a sort of a loose linen tunic shirt. And they walk with a walking stick. And as they get closer, all of you realize this is an Aelfir. He has longer gray hair And he walks up to where all of you can see him and he says, "Hello.
Dad?
You've fallen out of the sky.
Where are we?
You were on a beach."
Obviously, specifically,
Specifically, you are in the village of Prosmuth.
Fall from the sky. Land in this place.
From Prosmuth?
Is this normal?
No. Well, I don't know what normal is where you come from.
But it's not normal for people to fall from the sky onto the beach of Prosmouth.
I have stopped worrying about what is normal and what is not. I do not see the need.
I see. You speak of great wisdom. Living in the known and unknown.
Oh.
Oh. This is good. Wines approaches him. How old are you?
Old enough. And you? He winks at you.
I'm the ripe age. I'm just ripe enough. Wines kind of points his hand out to like a handshake.
As you look up, he shakes your hand. And as you look around, you see that all throughout here, you see that there is, behind the lighthouse, a village of sorts, a haven. It is not in great shape, but he says you're in Prosmuth, and none of you have heard that before. And so it kind of tracks that he says, I am Mahawi. I am the keeper of the lighthouse here. You are welcome, but you should know that you are not in a safe place. This is the Amiran zone.
okay. Shubil pulls out some glasses and pushes them up the bridge of his nose. The Amiran zone, exactly dead center of the heart, the festering wound, that Amiran zone.
Yes. Well, this is a safe place. And your headquarters for the second half of this campaign. Come on. And he turns around and walks towards the lighthouse. And that's where we're going to
Shubil just stops wines real quick, hands him the goggles. Take a hit of this shit later. It's going to fry your mind.
I'm so ready.
I will say that any of you, when you look through this scope, this kinetoscope, you see that wound in the heart, and at the center of it is your heart's desire, is what you want most. So that's where we'll pick up next time. I think this is a good time to stop. When we come back, we're going to have we'll have a Haven episode next time. Okay, so you guys have been beat up. So next time we'll have a chance to heal or look around or meet NPCs, do beats and mischief around havens and resting and things like that before you press further into the heart on your hunt for the delving machine. We'll see where it goes from there. Before we go, let's go around and we need to check in with our group. This was a doozy of a day. We crammed a lot in. There was a fight. There were some ghosts. There was a tree. There were trashmunculus. It was a lot. Let's I don't know, who should we start with? I think Ali, I think you were last time. So well, tell us who you are. Anything else that you got going on? And I will tell you that I'm glad that Elric got that chance to talk about what it means to like die, and revealing that he's died a bunch of times, which maybe not everyone knew. And please take it away.
Yeah. So I play Elric, the Heartsong Witch. My name is Ollie. Don't really have much else to plug. Not sure what else you want to discuss, but otherwise I'm good.
Good. Did you have a good time today?
Yeah, thank you.
That's all I care about.
Awesome.
Good. All right, let's do this little diagonal thing that we're doing. Sid.
Hey, Howie.
I put a Howie in here for Sid because he was a central character for a campaign we played before.
He was the
He's
best
also kind of-
character.
He's also kind of a mystic plane jumper who shows up in the most unexpected
It's
places.
the
so I
same
think it's-
Howie. That is my headcanon. Same exact Howie.
Exact same, except now he's an Elfir, right?
And I already, even though he's an Elfer, I trust him. Yeah, I'm Christine Sid. You can find me on the internet at Greek Sid. I am over on twitch.tv/game nights, 2 G's and a K on Mondays and Saturdays. Saturday, we're in Endgame for Great Blades in the Dark campaign. I got in a big fight with my not yet girlfriend. So yeah, come check that out. But yeah, that's me. This was real fun
awesome.
tonight, y'all. And then one more time for the cheap seats.
Perfection. I loved tonight with Jezzy and following that beat to get that tree. I put it in a very bad place.
Yeah, you did.
And you went after
But I got it, and I'm gonna have Howie help me plan it next time.
Oh, let's look at beats real quick because we should review them before we go. We'll go back. Ali, Ali, I know that you had communicate with something in the heart. Sure. I mean, yeah, you did. You talked with all sorts of things and confessed to a friend what you envision as a good death. You only hit that one if you consider the rest of the party your friends.
Some of them. I'm still wary on a few, but
Right.
you know, what people do with the homunculus is between them and the homunculus, I guess. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Sure.
What
That's
did I do?
Everything.
Sid, find a heart-touch sapling on a delve and bring it back to a haven for planting. You're most of the way there. That counts. I think that counts as long as you plant it.
Oh, I absolutely am planting it.
Make a major enemy for life. I don't know. Did you?
No, not yet. I was aiming maybe to see if one of the
It's a major one.
homunculus might be. So, but not yet. Not yet.
I can put a jerk in this town if you want, and you could hit that next time. It's a major beat, so
Yeah, it might take a while. It's okay.
Sweet.
We'll find somebody.
thank you. All right, Benji, let's talk about your boy Toby.
Hi, I'm Benji. You can find me online at Chance47. When I'm not here, I'm over at that D'Angelo's channel doing some Mythic Odyssey of Theros. And tonight, I think I hit both my beats.
I think so. I think you saw something from your dreams in the real world, that face in the mirror that stared stared back unblinking. And you did do that right there at the place of power. That counts for sure. The Eastern Express is definitely a place of power. Cursed power. Powerful. My Toby moment of the night was turning out the lights. That was freaking great. And I'm so glad that you got to use that. So thank you, bud.
Yay.
Let us proceed over to Derek. Derek?
Yo, my name is Atop, or Derek, or Atop Derek Mountain, where you can find me on all of the socials and platforms underneath that name. I play a lot of Wild RP, Cowboy Land, play multiple characters on there, so feel free to find me over there on that channel. And today was an absolute blast.
It was a fun one. It was really good. My in terms of beats, you hit both of yours. You took that fortune fallout for breaking your shield. And then you coerced an important or beloved NPC, the trash monkeyless. They were beloved.
Yes, they are. They were so beloved.
Just doing something they didn't want to do. You talked about just going into that train, and then I got to use a weird squeaky voice, and it turns out I love doing it. So they're going to be around. I'm still going to keep them way off in the periphery, but they'll be back.
So good. So good.
Go. And finally, the one who likes to make out with trash homunculi, Shubil. Shubil.
I did what?
You know what you did.
You know what you did.
We all know what you did.
Let's get right to it, Bill. Beat number 1, refuse to back down when it would have been beneficial to do so. Check.
Okay.
I mean, you should have backed down from the makeout session with the trash monkey.
You really should have. It was rough.
And
Wines,
it
what did you
says-
place me with?
Well, it couldn't have been me, man. I was just watching.
You access to Haven in tier 2 of the heart. Technically, it's tier ? Of the heart, but yes, this place, which I'm calling, so in the campaign setting, they call it Istmouth, and I'm like, Lovecraft much? So I changed it, and the name I gave it was Prost Smooth, because that is half of the word for the mouth of a worm, and that sea is full of worms, which is gross.
Yay.
Anyway, RJ, what else you got going on? What else? Do you want to plug something? I know you do.
Yeah, you can catch me over on Mondays over at the Indoor Adventures, where we do a D&D 4e game where it's the Wild West and gold equals magical powers. You can catch me and Sid over at G Game Nights on Saturdays, where we are really full steam ahead on Blades in the Dark. I think our next step is probably military uprising.
Yeah. It's not like Blades in the Light. Not hiding anything.
No.
Oh no, we're
Blades in public?
we're hiding. We kind of have to. We're at the highest wanted level possible right now.
The
5
only
star.
Blades in public we'll be bringing out is a guillotine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Eat the rich.
We blew up a couple. Well, we actually blew up the same government building twice. We blew it up. They rebuilt it over almost a year, and then we blew it up again.
Just for good measure.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
It's
Fantastic.
about sending a message.
Yeah.
And that message is, we're going to blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this one building in particular.
It's about lowering rent in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, then absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Doc Rimbaud. I've been your games master, and you can find me tomorrow on Laugh Love Lindy's channel for our game of Y'all of Cthulhu, where we're still in a time loop and there's dinosaurs, but who knows what's going to happen this time? Maybe we'll find a way out. We don't know. And then when we're done we're going to pre-tape our finale for our Pathfinder campaign here on High Shelf. So when we're done with that, you'll know, and we'll put it up for everyone to watch. But if you're not a part of the High Shelf Discord, you should absolutely go and jump in on there. And if you like what you saw, you know what? Just hang around for a bit. There's nice people. So we're going to do a little raid. We're going to go and join our friends at Dork Tales. So if you hang tight, you'll see them in just a bit. Until next time, don't open a train car full of ghosts.
Don't do that.
Or do I don't care. I'm not your dad.